Alright, so we're going to move right along to Baltimore's St. George's Day special, Dragon Slayer, the Emperor. Alright, so what do I know about St. George's Day? Literally nothing. We didn't celebrate that in my part of the country. I don't know if it's really celebrated here at all, but if you guys know of some things that you do for St. George's Day, if that's a thing where you live, please just put it down in the comments. I'm going to come back and read them, see if anybody left anything that expands my knowledge base a little bit. In any case, anything read by Baltimore is automatically welcome from me. This was requested by Bruinor on the Discord, and if you'd like to make a request, the Discord is the place to do it. Just be sure to put a video link in the request tab down there, and yeah, let's get started.
Earth. Terror. The Middle Ages. The sun lashed the sands like a vengeful spirit as he rode. None but he could face this thing. None but he would dare. For days he had ridden, without rest, without respite. His steed was all but dying beneath him, so exhausted was it. But it had carried him to his quarry. It had served him well. He had felt its advent. Some say its awakening. Some say its arrival. A dark and terrible god. A being that had begun with the dawning of the galaxy itself, had slain its way through time, devouring races, crushing planets, eating stars. It had been party to the destruction of the Old Ones. It had consumed many of its fellow dark gods and absorbed their essence and might. It was one of the most powerful things the galaxy had ever known. A Catan, the Void Dragon. A terror of old had come to Earth, to terror, and he alone stood against it. A man. Some say the collection of every soul of ancient shamans. Others a freak of nature, but one of us. Perhaps the greatest that will ever exist, but he was, ultimately, only a man. And on that day, he stood against this dark god, this dark being, and said but two words: no more. The forces that were unleashed that day, as the two titans met, a man against a dragon of ancient horror, were unlike anything witnessed since the darkest days of the war in heaven, some score or more millions of years before. And none can now know what would have happened, what that dark god would have done to our world, our people, our entire race, if he had not thwarted it. For on that day, David fought Goliath, but on a cosmic expanse, on a level none can now truly ever understand. For the hero we call St. George, he who was eventually to arise and dub himself the Emperor of Mankind, he stood, and on that day he performed a feat that not all of the Old Ones, not all of the Elderei, not even the Necrons had achieved. Alone, he bested a god in single combat, and the human race was saved. He won. Welcome, gentle listener. I'm Baltimore, and I wish to introduce you to the forces, factions, and faces of the Warhammer 40k universe. Today, St. George's Day. We shall be briefly introducing the Void Dragon, but know that today is the day we celebrate the Emperor himself. What better way to do so than to discuss the most important of any of his deeds? For it is certain in my mind that this one feat did indeed save the human race from a fate far worse than death, worse than mere destruction. The fate of being thralls or food to one of the most vicious entities the galaxy has ever known, the Catan known as the Void Dragon himself. But for the basics, and as people seem to love me doing it so much, let us lean on existing wisdom.
To quote.
The Void Dragon, sometimes referred to as the Dragon, though its proper name is Magladroth, is one of the few remaining Catan, one of the Necron star gods in the Milky Way galaxy. The Void Dragon, or a large Catan shard of it, is believed by some tech priests to be the actual machine god, venerated by the cult of the machine, of the Adeptus Mechanicus. No shard of this Catan has yet been encountered, and it is possible that the Void Dragon has remained whole throughout the eons, and its essence has never been captured within the Necron's Tesseract labyrinths. It is a truly terrifying prospect for the galaxy, if this entity were ever to waken from its slumber. There may be a connection between this being and the Dragon of Mars, an unknown entity which was imprisoned beneath the surface of Mars by the Emperor of Mankind, before the start of the Age of Terror. The Void Dragon, if it actually exists, is arguably the most powerful surviving Catan, particularly after the banishment of the Nightbringers, Phase Scythe, to the Warp by the Old Ones, and their Eldari servants during the War in Heaven, millions of standard years ago. Although the Nightbringer, Azagarad, seems to have had a much more sinister effect on the galaxy as a whole.
This is true.
Magladroth is named the Void Dragon in Eldari mythology, which portrays it as a figure of oblivion, wanton destruction and devastation. It was a master of the material realm, and its warriors were practically invincible during the War in Heaven. While eating stars, it takes the form of a cloud of dark light. In an Imperial transcription of a Vox communication between an Inquisitor named Horst and a tech priest named Alagos, the Void Dragon is described as the most powerful of all the ancient star gods, having once possessed the ability to create almost invincible warriors. According to the ancient Eldari legends, these warriors could channel lightning into their foes, though these lightning attacks were ineffective against the Iron Knights that the Eldari hastily created to battle against ancient Necrons. Having gained a respite through the forging of the Iron Knights, the Eldari god of the Forge, Vol, created the Talismans of Vol, the Blackstone Fortresses. These too were powered by the souls of Eldari seers and were used by Vol to attack the Void Dragon.
How did I not know all this? I always assumed the Blackstone Fortresses were built by the Old Ones. But I'm an idiot. There we go. All right.
Directly. Here the Eldari legend ends, and there is little evidence as to the outcome of the battle, other than the stated opinion of Inquisitor Horst, which was that the Eldari attack had failed. At the end of the Eldari's mythological version of the War in Heaven, the dragon created the warp suppression pylons, and the Necrons spread a network of them around the galaxy in key locations.
Oh, okay.
The purpose of these devices was to block the Old One's source of psychic power, creating an unbreakable barrier between the warp and real space that would forever cut off the Old Ones and all their servant races like the Eldari from their psychic abilities. However, this project was interrupted, and the mechanisms were never finished. The Void Dragon at present is widely whispered to be slumbering in some form beneath the surface of Mars. If what the Adeptus Mechanicus first worshipped as the Omnissiah is truly the sinister Xenos entity, as some tech priests seem to believe, there is no telling what the ramifications of this discovery could be. End quote.
There has been a mention that it's not just some supposition, there is something beneath Mars that there is some concern if it gets found, if it gets awakened. So it very well could be the Void Dragon. And if that's the case, the Void Dragon was very technically inclined, so there you go.
We see that the Void Dragon is a tale and a fixture in the Warhammer world that is perpetually being honed and developed by Games Workshop. It has mutated quite a bit recently. More information may come out. The tale brought into more stark relief, of which I await with bated breath. It may never happen though. But it could happen at any time is all I say. It was the Emperor, on his own, with nothing but his own power, resolve and courage, that defeated this elder thing, this nightmare from the dawn of time. and in doing so, he saved humanity. If one were to look poorly on his later acts, still, it is undeniable that he has saved humanity. We would never have walked the stars, never have developed, never have grown to dominate the greater part of the Milky Way galaxy, if not for this one battle, this one epic confrontation being won by a man who fought a god for the future of his people. So today we celebrate this one act. Some might argue as being the only pure act the Emperor has ever performed. But he did. He saved us all, no matter what may have happened later. No matter the errors, the mistakes, the pain and horror he may be guilty of on this day we celebrate the indomitable, unquenchable spirit of humanity. We celebrate the Emperor.
There we go.
Alas, my cold or fatigue has made me a tad soppy, but I feel that on this day alone I can indulge just this once. For our community has grown to 35,000 souls today.
Yeah, this is an older video.
I wish to just tell you how proud of you I am. Every single one of you. Look what we have achieved. Not in quantity, but in quality. Just read the comments section one day when bored, and you may see one of the rarest things in the world of Warhammer. A truly positive community, where the old hands answer the questions of the new, where friendly ribbing and roleplay occurs, yes, but never with venom, never with bitterness or one-upmanship. I feel personally that
I can actually say this about my community as well, even though it's nowhere near as large as Baltimore's. The one thing I have been proud of for a very long time is the community that has come about in the Discord, and everywhere else. I have a lot of, there's so much stuff I want to do, but first and foremost, I gotta thank everybody that's decided to hit a subscribe button and join a Discord and just pop in and talk to me. And I get people, it's so odd to me, just being the kind of person I am, when people come in and they're kind of nervous to talk to me. It's like, no, if you see me in there, say hey. Just say hey. If I'm in open comms 1, which is where I'm usually at, pop in and say hey. I mean, it is, just come on in.
People do not understand how precious this is. With all of the stress and strain and the drive for competition that has burned through the Warhammer community of late, here is what I truly believe to be one of the few places you can ask a question and gain an honest answer without ridicule, where discussion can occur without spite, without rage, where we all acknowledge just one thing. We are Legion. We are one. And we are never ever alone. It is a site that has been forged by community, has changed and grown by the direction of the whole, not the diktat of the one. This is not and never will be the Voldemort show. It is the Guides to Warhammer, a place of relaxation and refuge. It truly is a brother and sisterhood. So when I say I am your faithful servant, know that I mean it. Now any servant can get tired, can make mistakes, can err. But I serve this community as one of its number, not some overlord or guru. I learn as much from the comments section as anyone does from me. So when I am not certain, I will be asking for other old hands and young consumers of the lore to help out this magnificent community. Nobody knows it all. So let us explore this great universe together, as one community who meet round a campfire, and all can be heard, and all can respect the opinion, the reading of others, even if we do not agree with it. For Warhammer is a different thing to each and every single one of us. Its only purpose is to allow us to forget the vicissitudes of the world and immerse ourselves in a dream. A dark and terrible dream, but a dream. And another thing, a little bit of advice from an old codger. It is easy to see a better painter of models, a more able player, a more knowledgeable lore hound. But do not get jealous. Rest assured, your time will come. Someone else being shiny takes no light from you, no worth, no greatness. All can be great. You will get there. Show passion, patience and wisdom if you can. But most of all, to yourself. Be gentle, be forgiving. Rome was not built in a day, You will get there if you try. But in reality, you don't need to get there. The journey is as important as the destination.
Very true.
For you have the greatest gift anyone could ever have. You have won the lottery every day, for nobody else will ever get to be you. And your journey is worth the taking. Enjoy it. Lord your mistakes.
One of the things that people know about me, if they come in, I consider Voldemort to be a mentor without any contact. I have spoken with Voldemort through email on one occasion, and Voldemort is the one person that I look to when I'm doing. Now, I don't have the temperament to do the kind of things that he does. And it's true. Everything that he's saying is true. I'm not going to try to copy him because it's not my style. My style, when I do any kind of video for lore or anything like that, is just full of rage and anger. It's just the way that I am. But if I could say there is one YouTuber that I look up to, that I consider the person that I'd want to be more like, it's Voldemort. In any case, moving on, hero worship over.
For you will often learn more from them than your victories. You are unique. You are the first and last of your kind. Nobody else will ever have seen what you have in the order you have, with the perspective you have. Would you ruin a Da Vinci, a Picasso, a Shakespeare play, a speech of Cicero, the pyramids, a perfect song or meal, just to make them like something else more famous? If not, then why would you do that to the greatest work of art you will ever see, ever witness, ever have the pleasure of knowing? You. So, my advice, do not compare yourself to others. They are an equal work of art, but of a different genre. Just know that there is something inside you that is unique. Why would you ruin it? Be you. Be happy about you. Learn to love you. When you do that, when you acknowledge the greatness within, then you can see the greatness in others and feel no envy, no jealousy, and no pain. You may slip when tired or hungry, or when you feel the weight of the world is on your shoulders, the fickle fates against you. But know you have already won. And when you do that, you join the Emperor. You are his equal, for you defeat the dragon within. Be a dragon slayer every day. Believe in hope. Believe
This
in
guy
kindness.
could read anything.
Believe in yourself.
But hearing this is
If
awesome.
you must, do it in his name. For this feeling I describe, this is what he intended for us all. And today of all days, just this one day. No matter what your favorite faction, force, or creed,
Unless you're
join
Tell.
me in saying, for the greatest of us, for the most powerful of us, but only one of us, a human. For the Emperor. Happy St. George's Day. And no matter what you do today, do try to make some time for fun. Doodaloo.
Another, like, I cannot express to you guys how much that I appreciate Voldemort as a presenter. He just fell right, like, when he started doing things in this fashion, his storytelling, everything like that, is just unrelentingly well done. It's hard for me not to, watch his stuff offline because I know people want to see so much of it on the channel. But, honestly, he is my favorite lore channel on YouTube. Bar none, no questions asked. Not even a close argument. I really do appreciate the suggestion. And I've got to get to work on a lore video of my own. The next 5-minute lore is going to be coming out soon. I got to review the script again tonight, and I'll probably be recording it either tonight or tomorrow night and putting it out there. I will be putting Voldemort's information down below, as well as my own for the Discord and the Patreon. Hop on in and support the channel, but please hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.